Yeah.
I'll show you what I test.
No, I believe you. I'm just saying.
Folks, we messed up. We need to go live on YouTube. Not the scheduled event, but YouTube live.
Yeah.
So they'll be back, says Chloe. Why mess with a live stream? Says Kat.
Said who?
Why mess with a live stream? Kat has just changed the connection. Don't panic. If you just joined, I don't know if it will be a new link.
There we go.
It's a new link.
Yeah.
We'll wait there, so...
Who said that?
What?
There we go. Hi, Sandra. Sandra, I think you're in Canada right now, aren't you? There we are. Hi, everyone. Hi. So we literally, they're signing on again. So when are you doing your first go ahead?
Mid-June.
Mid-June.
Yeah.
Get my details from Hazel. Any questions about it?
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Years and years he's worked. Yeah, brilliant.
For better. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in. I want to show you what beautiful Dublin looks like. and then I'll show you what less beautiful Dublin looks like.
Yeah, no, take me off the screen. I hope nobody's eating dinner.
So, it's good to have a laugh. All right, I'm very sorry about that, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Oh, Harriet's here from Uganda. Hi, Harriet. So,
Harriet,
Harriet, I don't know if you've met Hazel yet before. Hello. So, yeah, Hazel she's my daughter.
Granddaughter.
So, hi, everyone. Hi, Jay. Nice to see you. Wonderful quality now. Everyone kept telling us to go on this other stream. That's why. Oh, Danny's saying hi. But that's why we tried to sign on. We started early to give it a. Hillary's saying hi to you. I think you know Hillary. Yeah. So it's sorry, your first name?
Jackie.
Jackie. So Jackie is Hazel's.
Where's the new link? Chloe's asking. There is no new link, is there?
It's just YouTube Live. Yeah. It's YouTube Live on Toomey Travel, I think is my YouTube link. I don't know.
It's Me Too, isn't it?
No. It's
Toomey,
number 2 ME.
Yeah, ME.
Yeah. Toomey Travel. Hi, Hannah Marie. Hi, everyone. So, yeah.
Toomey what?
Travel. Yeah, because I travel and my surname's Toomey. So it all works.
Makes sense.
From the old days. So, all right. Jackie, where are you two off to?
We're going back to Connolly to my car.
Are you going back to your car? All right. Hazel, I have to give Hazel a hug because we spent the day together. So there's
Thank you for today.
It's so nice to spend time with you.
You too.
Hazel is, by the way, in real person, Hazel is as lovely as you know. Sandra, I know it's hot there. Yeah. All right. Listen, everyone. We're off for a run.
Let's go over yonder.
We're going to go off for yonder. Ladies and
Let's go
gentlemen,
for a stroll.
sorry about the slow and slightly confused start to our whole event here.
Streamlabs fault.
Everyone keeps telling us that this is where we have to stream it. And so we gave it a shot. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to look up and up and up and up. Look at that, 120 or 121 meters into the earth.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and there is the Millennium Spire,
Which wasn't
2,000 years old, because it's the Millennium.
No, but it wasn't actually ready for the millennium.
No,
They
it
messed
wasn't
up.
ready. Yeah.
3 years late it was.
I do, Laurie. That's right. So I'll do a really quick introduction, first of all, just for those who don't know me and don't know Dave. First of all, welcome here to Dublin's Fair City, where indeed the girls are so pretty.
I first set my eyes on.
I think that Dave is a great judge of them. I'm still learning.
My
name is Patrick Toomey, and I live in Banff National Park in the Canadian Rockies. Now, Patrick Michael Toomey, dad's from Cork, and I've been here. I come 2 or 3 times a year, and I run tours over here in beautiful Ireland. So I feel very close to here. I'm an Irish citizen, but it's not my home. So I travel all over the world, and so I live stream tours all over. My friend Dave, we've now got 2 years, and Dave and I actually met virtually through a platform that no longer exists. But now we've become fast friends, and we chat quite often. Hi, Trees. And so Dave is an actual local guide here. And so I want to preface that. Like, I'm not out to give you all of Dublin. I think my friend Dave can. Now, I had put in the description Dave's YouTube channel, but Dave, we've lost it putting this back up. What is your YouTube?
Okay, well, it's, someone else will put it in there.
No, they can't put it in the chat that well. But Dave's YouTube, if you could sign up, it's a really, really dodgy number. He's at 666 followers. So if you could all follow along.
Yeah, I know.
But all that noted, we thought we'd take you out for a nice little walk tonight. Nice to have you all here. Thank you for joining us in Dublin. We're right up by O'Connell Street. But first of all, now, a couple of gents here, but I have to show you, if you are a literary person, this is arguably one of the most literary cities in the whole wide world. And just out front here, have a look at this. There is himself from Ulysses, James Joyce. Now, some of you will know him as a wonderful literary mind. Others, on the other hand, will know that they had to sit down and try to study it. I remember trying. I did get through Finnegan's Wake, but I did so by turning every page. I wouldn't say.
You got through it in like 5 minutes, go one page to the last page. It's a very, very difficult book to read, Ulysses, as is Finnegan's Wake and so forth.
Ulysses was a little easier, I found. It was
Ulysses is
it
a
was
lot
like
easier.
the ultimate guide.
A lot easier, but still too hard for me, too difficult for me. But I mean, it is an absolutely masterpiece, and some people say it is one of the greatest, or if not the greatest book ever written. And the great thing about this story and so forth, it takes place in one day in the life of a man called Leopold
Bloom.
And he was the main character of the story. And he walked around the streets of Dublin on the 16th of June, 1904. And the reason why Joyce chose that particular date was because that was the first day he went on a date with his future wife, Nora Barnacle from Galway. And as I say, it all takes place.
Wow.
So there is a great tour here on the 16th of June each year where people dress up in period costumes from that era.
And so, Dave, I have to ask you, what's the local name for this statue?
The local name?
The laughing name. From time to time, he's called the pick with the stick, as he's leaning on his stick right there. But we are coming up to the widest.
This right here is called the erection by the intersection, or the stiffy by the liffey.
The stiffy by, look at this pole up here, as we are in the widest boulevard in all of Europe, ladies and gentlemen. So O'Connell Street is, of course, deeply historic. It needs a little bit of freshening up. But it is, of course, an important street, and we're looking across. If we want to climb back into Irish history, we're looking across right now to the GPO, the General Post Office. There were 4 uprisings from 1798 through 1867, but in World War I, there's the Lewis going by, the new tramway. Well, not that new, but I remember it being built here. I was traveling here a lot in those days. But this particular uprising, 1916, as the Irish were being sent off to be cannon fodder in World War I, led by Patrick Pearse from Connemara. They came and rose up here. There's still bullet holes in it. And actually, a lot of people didn't support the uprising at the time. But the response, the reprisal to it was public hangings. And that really galvanized the Irish people around independence, which led, of course, to that very significant partition of Ireland in 1921. And then down where I was in Cork giving a tour yesterday, the rebel county didn't accept that partition. There is so much history. Dave, my friend, could stand here and give you a tour just of this for an hour.
One other thing about this General Post Office right here. This is the oldest continuously used post office in the whole entire world. It dates back to 1818. Now, there probably was other, maybe in Great Britain and so forth, older post offices, but they're no longer in existence, or they're no longer at the same location and been run continuously. This one has since 1818, the oldest post office in the whole entire world.
And I can tell you, as a resident of Banff National Park in Canada, if you mailed me a letter from there, they would process it, mail it out, and then it would take me a month to get it on my end, not the Irish end. So there's Larkin up there, a great trade unionist. And of course, the fight for workers' rights in Ireland is a powerful bit of history. But if you look at Larkin up there with those oversized hands, we're not going to see him because people are hopping on and hopping off. But he was a Liverpudlian, but it is incredible. I need to just show you the statue up here because it is quite meaningful. You've got a lot of Irish history up here. But you know why he's holding his hands really in the air? Do you know what he's actually saying? He's saying, "Why are all you pigeons pooping on my head?" but he's trying to catch a few pigeons. But as we do come along, we need to come and take you up over the Liffey River. Now, oh, look at that. This is how modern Ireland is. They're cleaning the streets for us. Sorry, it's quite noisy, so we'll leave that be for a second. Now, we're a bank holiday weekend, a long weekend here, as you'd say in North America. And so people have been out partying and having as much fun as possible, as one does in Dublin. Dublin is, of course, the capital of the Republic of Ireland, the largest city on the island of Ireland. About 1.5 million if you take the greater area around. It is a deeply cultural city. It's already passed an official 1,000 years, but you go back thousands of years of population on this island. But if the walls could speak here, we could actually tell you what they're saying. No, it's a holiday here. Tomorrow's May Day, of course. But we could tell you what the walls say here because few cities on earth have produced as many writers as Dublin it has. Do you know, statistically, Dave, Ireland is the second most literary country on planet Earth. Per capita, apparently, Iceland has the most published authors, which is sort of a neat thing.
Amazing.
It is amazing. The great saga tradition. Hey, Gregory, nice to see you here. So listen, I'm sorry if we miss a little bit of your questions or your comments. This YouTube live is fantastic, but the chat fades away. Dublin, or Dave here has very kindly led me his reading glasses so I can see it. Now, you know what,
No,
Dave?
I can't see.
One of the things what I'm confused about is we fought long and hard for hundreds of years to become a republic, yet you have a Burger King here. That seems like a peculiar thing to me. So, and a McDonald's. So yes, over here, tomorrow is May 1st, of course, May Day. There's Daniel O'Connell there. So Daniel O'Connell comes from Kerrisaveen. In fact, Dave was in Kerrisaveen with me last year. And so was Hazel. That's right, we had so much fun around the ring of Kerry. Went off and became educated. So in the late 1700s, they passed the penal laws, which stopped Catholic Irish from having any public position anyway. And so in 1828, Dave, sounds right, they repealed the penal laws. And really, we probably had a march towards Irish independence at that point. And they would have had, I'll just come around here, they would have found independence, but then of course Ireland was crushed under the Great Hunger. And this island lost, well, 2.5, 3 million people, and that changed the game. But it's very prominent and important. And you have, of course, the problems. Let me just try and show you O'Connell here for a second. There you get the sign. So O'Connell Street. And it is said to be, Joan, will you be in Kerrisaveen?
Jonah's family there.
Yeah, you have family there in Kerry. Kerry people, gosh, it's a lovely county. So 32 counties in Ireland. It is just such. But Kerry is the place over the years in tourism where I've spent the most time because you don't ever come to Ireland and not go to Kerry. On this particular trip, we were in Kerry, but then we went out to Dingle, and it was a gorgeous day. Oh, God, it's just gorgeous. I do have a replay of the tour we did there. Whoops, we'll try not to get run over here, Dave. I didn't want to catch that. Look at all the double-decker buses there. So, we are going to cross from the north side of the River Liffey to the south side. So this is the Great Divide, and really Dublin is sort of a semicircle from the port of Dublin, which is straight down in the distance. You'll see the old customs house down here in the distance. And, is there a yellow alert for thunderstorms, Gregory's telling us. Salut Alain, bonjour. So straight out there, only a few miles, and you're at the Port of Dublin. To the south, the Port of Dunleary. But we are on this famous bridge, which every tour guide in the world tells you it's a perfect square. It's as wide as it is long. But let's
It's wider than it is long.
You're saying it's wider, huh?
It's 50 meters in width and 45 meters in length.
Is that right?
So
Because
I don't know of any other bridge to have that situation. But
yeah, and there is in the distance the Halfpenny Bridge out there. It used to cost a half penny to cross that, but we are looking up the beautiful Liffey. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, it's so nice to come here at night as well and get the reflections. It is a tidal river. And every year they have a swim on here, the Liffey swim. Dave actually won it in August last year, or the year before.
Back to back.
Back to back. But you can also see top of a building up there in the distance with a green roof. And that is the Gresham, and that is owned by Bono. Hey, did you hear this one?
Clarence
Hotel. Why? Sorry, the Clarence, not the Gresham. Why are God and Bono different? Because God knows he's not Bono. That's a bit of a Bono joke for you. And you found that funny. You too found that funny.
You too.
Did you see that? So we thought. So we're right in the middle between where the two sides come and never meet. Please do.
I just want to tell a story about the Halfpenny Bridge, right?
Yep.
My fault.
Yep. Hold it. Hey, no, talk nice and loud.
No, the Halfpenny Bridge, just a little bit of a story about it. It dates back to 1816. Now, a man by the name of Willie Walsh, he ran a little ferry across from the south side to north side to south side. But the Dublin Corporation would not let him use this ferry anymore because it went into disrepute, or it needed repairs, and the repairs would have cost too much and so forth. So, but the Dublin Corporation gave him an opportunity. They said, we'll let you can't use the ferry anymore, but we'll let you build a bridge over the River Liffey here. And they gave him a 100-year contract. And with this 100-year contract, he was allowed to charge a halfpenny for anybody crossing the river on this bridge, hence the name, the Halfpenny Bridge.
Half a penny, and we get up to the top of here, and you get to the original Black Pool, which was Dublin in the old Viking languages, because Bayataclout would be the ford over the Liffey River. Look at this. These people all around here are extremely gullible, but anyway, it's an important pecking order over here. But as we do,
they eat your food too.
They will eat their food. Oh yeah, seagulls are incredible. So, why don't we make our way? Do you want to make a cross, Dave? All right. So, we thought we'd head up a little bit towards Trinity College. I believe U2 is off to Las Vegas or something. They have a big concert on fairly soon. I'm going to miss it. In fact, I was a deserter. But that's my best Las Vegas joke. Now, if you do have a look at our channel here, so Dave Kavanagh, if everyone here would be so kind as to sign on to his YouTube channel as well, that would be extremely helpful. We have to get him way past the 666. If we get him to 667,
I'm having devil thoughts. I am.
You're having devil thoughts. If we get him to 667, he'll be the neighbor of the beast. But here you have, of course, you have some of your fast food. Although there used to be down here, in my youthful days in Ireland, an Abracadabra down here. Oh, yeah. Best restaurant in all of Ireland, everyone. Don't go out to the fancy hotels. Always go for Abracadabra. I don't really mean that. But we're just going to come up to the junction. And we thought, just for fun, we wander along the Liffey and we'll make our way up. And we'll go up as far, of course, as Molly Malone, because Dave is going to give us a beautiful song there. But we're just walking along the edge of the Temple Bar District.
I'm getting my voice ready now.
Getting your voice ready? He's a singing machine. But this, as we come down, if we were to turn right here, we'd be right up in Temple Bar. Now, main touristic area. The upside is you have live music, interesting pubs. The downside is 10 euros for a drink, which is not really our style. We met up, of course, in the confession box earlier. Look at this fellow with a very small electric bike. But he's pretty colorful. It is lovely. Hi, Ant. Nice to see everyone. I'm glad everyone's made it. Thank you so much for those who stuck with us. We tried the new thing that everyone keeps suggesting we sign on to, and we couldn't see anything, so it didn't work from our end. But it's nice to have you all here. Now, it's a bank holiday weekend here, May 1st. So tomorrow we will be marching on the streets, singing Solidarity Forever, for the Union will survive. But we need to come up here because the oldest university out here is Trinity College, and that's up on the left. we won't go in. I think we'll make our way over to Molly. But I do want to show you this fascinating building up here with no windows. So this is the Bank of Ireland. But we need to go back. Hi, Patty. Nice to see you. But the Bank of Ireland building, prior to 1800, Ireland had its own parliament. And after the 1798 uprising of the Wolfe Tones, that's when the Act of Union occurred, where basically Westminster and London said, no, you're not to be independent. They just absorbed Ireland, and they said there could be no sign of Parliament here. This then became the Bank of Ireland. And I guess they have a really good exhibit of something on in the moment. Hazel was telling me.
Yeah, they have actually Seamus Heaney exhibition.
Seamus Heaney, that's
right. A great, probably Ireland's second greatest ever poet after William Butler Yeats. Unfortunately, he died in 2005. He was actually a lecturer at Harvard and in Oxford. And just a brilliant, brilliant poet, but his exhibition is on in there. But they also have an exhibition every Tuesday. So if anybody's in Dublin on a Tuesday morning, every week, they show you the old House of Lords. As I say, this would have housed the old House of Lords and the old Irish House of Commons.
Yeah, the old Irish Parliament was right on
actually,
here.
1800 with the Act of Union. It wasn't put into action until 1801, where all the Irish representatives, the politicians, had to move from Ireland because all Irish affairs were then to be conducted in Westminster. Now, the leader of the Irish Parliament at that time was a man by the name of Henry Grattan. He was an Irish politician, Anglo-Irish. He was very much beloved by all the Irish people because he was fighting for independence, he was fighting for legislative freedom, he was fighting for civil rights for the poor Irish people of the day. And the Irish people didn't call this the Irish Parliament. He was so popular they called it Grattan's Parliament.
Just want to show you around the side here. Sorry, lots of people around. There is Edmund Burke, considered to be the father of modern conservatism over there. Now, he was a thinker and academic here at Trinity during the time of the French Revolution. And as a consequence of that, he did say to us that really revolution should not be violent overthrow. It should be a process of democratic reform. And I agree with that. These are these hens nights, they call them over here. But we call them, from the UK, but we'd call them a stagette. Yeah. Fuzzy. Listen, everyone, I just want to acknowledge that some of you are telling us it's blurry. There is absolutely zero we can do about that. That's why we tried signing on the other way today. So I apologize for it, although there's zero we can do, and so it's not, some live music out here, which is lovely. But there is absolutely zero we can do about the blurriness. We have no control over that. Here, let's turn the screen around for a minute, because, see, I wouldn't say we're all that blurry, but we're on full 5G. We're right in the center of the city. Say we tried to sign on another way, and that didn't seem to work very well. The reception might just be bouncing around, but honestly, with all due respect, telling us it's blurry is not helpful. There's zero we can do about that. We can talk to YouTube about it, but we'll take you up around and see if we can.
It's all YouTube's fault, not ours.
Yeah, well, nothing we can do about it. Super Rose. So we're gonna go up around the corner, and it's not. I mean, this is the trade-off. We lost.
Starting to.
Yeah. Oh, here comes a little bit of rain, but look at that sky up there. Isn't it just gorgeous? It bounces in and out. Hey, Melissa, nice to have you here. Oki. So in my little world, we tend to say on our tours, Oki, which is hello in the Blackfoot language. Of course, here we're in the land of the Irish language. About 2 to 4% of Irish speak the Irish language at home. But nevertheless, the entire country is bilingual, except for these no parking signs right here. And so we're coming up, of course, to one of the very, very famous landmarks of this fine city. It is super. Yeah, we can see the chat, but it fades away. So we have to keep clicking. But here we are. It's very busy. But Dublin is always fun. Somebody's singing for us. But we're going to go around, and we're going to have a nice little visit with Molly Malone herself, This is where you can take your very best photo.
The best of photos.
There we are. But of course,
This is the number one visited statue in all of Dublin. There's hundreds of statues within Dublin city, but this is by far and away the most visited. She was a fishmonger, and she wheeled her wheelbarrow through the streets broad and narrow,
crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh.
Now, she was also a lady of the night, as well as being a fishmonger during the day. Now, Dublin people
Something
have slang.
fishy about that.
Something fishy about that
Yeah.
too. And you know what? Dublin people have slang for this statue.
Mm-hmm.
They call her the tart with the cart, or the trollop with the scallop, or the dish with the fish.
She's,
So lots of and also superstition has it that if you had to touch her left breast, that was what the superstition. You touch her left breast, although most people touch both of them, you'll have good luck for the rest of the day. Now, earlier today, I touched it, and the weather forecast was for rain during this whole entire tour. It has only had a little bit of a drizzle for about a couple of seconds.
And
so, you know, it worked. It definitely worked.
It did work. I cannot imagine how many times Dave has gone up to that statue. We all watch on his tours, or his photo on your Instagram, particularly all the photos around. But we thought we'd just take a little stroll around up here. It's good luck. You know, I'm on the second last day of a 14-day tour here in Ireland. And we essentially had a couple of showers on the bus. And then yesterday afternoon, we had some rain here in Dublin. We have watched the gorse, of course, in full bloom the whole way around. We have had just so much luck. And it is just gorgeous. So I do want to stress the fact that I've been really honored and happy to be doing tours here in Ireland with everyone in the few places. I was thrilled to do one in Derry and Cork, where I used to live. But Dave is here in Dublin, and so is our friend Hazel. And so there's a lot more. You know what? I don't want to come and try and do all of Dublin in a half hour, 40 minutes with everyone, because it is just so. But in terms of I just want to return one more time. In terms of the fuzziness and all that, we literally have no control. Zoom is a little bit better, but we have to charge for those tours always. I do want to say, however, in the description, because we had to put this up very last minute, if you are happy to contribute to our Guinness Fund, it's much appreciated. Of course, the home Guinness.
It says buy me a copy, but
Mine doesn't.
It should be.
Yeah, mine
buy
doesn't.
Me a Guinness. Oh, doesn't it?
No,
yours?
but yeah, it's just a donate page. This is Grafton Street, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the buy me a Guinness, because I don't need someone to buy me a coffee. Yeah, I have coffee every morning. See. You got Dave's tip address for buy me. Mine is in the link there. It's just on my website, Toomey2me.travel. So here's Grafton Street. This is the really fun. I think it's a brilliant idea to change it to beer. Now, this is a pedestrian street here. Modern Dublin is one of the important world's capitals. And this is where it's really interesting to reflect upon Ireland. Here, I'll even turn the screen around. So this is a small country, right? The Republic of Ireland's about 5 million people, about 1.8 up in the 6 counties. You know, call it 7 million people. Yet, the Taoiseach, the Prime Minister of Ireland, can go over to Washington, D.C. and be welcomed for dinner immediately. So Ireland plays a role in the world much bigger. As they say, it punches above its weight. High level of education, extremely literate, and so many people, a third of the US, a third of Canada, third of Australia, you know, deep Irish roots. Even the national liberator of Chile, Bernardo Higgins, has Irish, yes. Even though he wasn't really, but that's a different debate.
His actually father was.
Well, it's a different debate for a different day. He wasn't, San Martin was. But that's how important Ireland is. So it plays this really significant role in the world. And that's where it's you know, Ireland's role, and it's a place for people from all over the world, but particularly English-speaking countries come over here. And it is, of course, now technically and absolutely, someone pointed out to me that Malta also has English as an official language. But this is the only real English-speaking country in the European Union now because of Brexit. So it plays an important role that way. But here, they've taken in a huge number. Hi, everyone. You want to say? Got people from all over the world, so. See, everyone's friendly. So the Celtic look. But isn't it lovely to see? So Grafton Street is a lot of fun. Now I got to tell you a fun story, Dave. About 14, 15 years ago, I was here doing a tour. We were leaving from South Dublin very early in the morning, and I actually had a driver on his first tour. And which I usually, the Irish drivers are incredible because the windy, narrow roads. We drove straight down Grafton Street. And the guards stopped us, the police, they're called, stopped us, and he said, it was great. He said, I'm sorry, my first time in Dublin. And it wasn't his first time, obviously, in Dublin, but he was from County Mayo. And we drove down here. So it was really a fun experience. So it's been so nice being back. I was here, with Dave and Hazel and, of course, our dear friend Paula from here just a few months ago. I guess it was August, and Finn was over with me. So we just thought it'd be fun to bring everyone out for a walk here. Why don't we, Dave, curve around here? We'll head back to Liffey because I have to head for a group dinner anyway. And Dave is going out. I think Dave's pole dancing tonight. He's
on the feature event.
He's the feature event at the pole dancing
artist
tonight. You will see though, and how modern Ireland's changing. We Googled it today. The referendum for equal marriage in Ireland was 2008, 2006. Where 2015, 62% or 63% of Irish voted in favor of equal marriage. It goes to show the evolution of this society to being extremely inclusive. Of course, it's a very worldly, outward-looking society. Yeah. I'm just looking at the Dublin Pride. That's what got me talking about that particular subject today. I actually had lunch today over here at this pub here. At the Duke. It was actually it was Hazel's idea, but look at that lovely flag there welcoming everyone. And we're walking all down along Georgian architecture, the big flat fronts and the fan windows. Isn't it, Melissa? I totally agree. So it is. So when I was living in Ireland as quite a young person, it was always friendly and fun, but it was a very conservative society. It is much less so now. Yeah, well, go ahead, Dave. What did you want to point out?
Just say the bookstore right there, Ulysses, obviously after James Joyce.
Yeah, James Joyce and Ulysses there. And Oscar Graves, Oscar Wilde, and Dave shows Oscar Wilde in a lot of his tours. But of course, he did come over to Canada for a while. He saw a big sign that said, "Drink Canada Dry," and he tried, and they booted him out. But famous creature. I'm trying to think of all the famous writers from Dublin. How many stayed their whole lives in Dublin?
Not a whole lot back
Brendan
in the day.
Behan, I think, was...
Brendan Behan did... Well, actually, he lived in England for a little bit. But most of them left, and the reason for it was there was no money to be made here. It was just too small of a market.
Right.
People were too poor, so they had to go. Like George Bernard Shaw he died at 94. He spent 74 years of his life in the UK, in Hertfordshire. And then Oscar Wilde obviously spent most of his life in London.
Yeah, and then
for the last 2 years in
Paris, right?
Paris, yeah.
And
You had William Butler Yeats for a time lived in the UK.
And he was Anglo-Irish, all the same.
But actually, his father was English.
But he was such a good person. He loved this country, and he believed in it, which is a really wonderful thing. Look at all the bookstores around. Of course, the whole literary environment has changed, and I say this because in my own little way I've published a few books, but really there's no money in books anymore. But the literary tradition of this country is incredible. And of course, when we were out on the west coast, out at the Skellig Islands, for example, and that's where so many Irish writers and the Irish language came from. But there's the side entrance into Trinity College. Do you think we can walk through, or will it be closed?
I think it's open till 6.
Is it open doors? No, I think we just passed. It may have. I see a few people wandering out. But Trinity College, Trinity University here. Yeah, so Nassau Street down through here. But it is an interesting mix of architecture. You don't really, aside from the big spire we started with, you don't necessarily have those distinct landmarks you have elsewhere, but you do have the wonderful Liffey River that comes right down the middle, and the city of about, say, 1.5 million of a country of 5 million is a pretty significant city. But Joe Biden was just here a few weeks ago, and of course up in Belfast as well, 25 years of peace, and they're still trying to put on a lot of energy.
Was there for that.
We were there the night Clinton was there. And so we were staying at the Stormont, so we were up out of town, lovely hotel. But it was so exciting. So what we're going to do is try and just cut in. I don't know if we can, Dave. What do you think? We may. Okay, we'll just go and we'll wander into Trinity, and then we'll call it a day, ladies and gentlemen. So I do want to offer you a very warm thank you for joining us here. Sorry that we had trouble signing on at the beginning. That was unfortunately a real challenge because, well, we're trying these different streaming ideas to try and get everything a little bit sharper, but there's only so much we can do. But the library of Trinity College is just coming up in the distance. This is where the Book of Kells is, ladies and gentlemen. And the Book of Kells, of course, were monks on the island of Iona on the west coast of Scotland. And it's the Holy Bible, but the monks here, of course, the monastic tradition is incredible. Do you know there were monastic settlements, Dave, for over 1,000 years, and they were all celibate like their fathers before them. So it was an incredible thing.
It took 100 years to write this book.
It was an incredible work of art.
And the amazing thing about it was what happened when they were on the island of Iona in Scotland, off the coast of Scotland. They were invaded by the Vikings, and 74 of the monks were killed. So the rest left the island and made their way to Kells Abbey in County Meath, about 45 minutes drive from where we're standing right now. And that's where they completed the book. It took 100 years to write. Believe it or not, it was found in the ruins of Kells Abbey in the 14th century, just lying on the ground.
It is an incredible thing. Lots of people say merci beaucoup. Hélène from Montreal, who I know follows all your tours, Dave. So,
Très bien, merci.
Merci. So thanks, everyone. If you would be so kind as to hit that like button. Thank you, everyone, for connecting. I know we're still on a learning curve with these things, but it was nice to have a great big crowd with us here. Dave and I are going to go out pole dancing here in a few minutes. So
Yeah, I'm warming up right now.
You're there he is. See this?
I can't jump that high.
Jump
I'll
up.
tell you
jump
what
up
I won't
and
be
get it.
doing is a handstand like
You
this
can,
fella.
you should do a handstand for us in front of Trinity.
Yeah, I'll probably have to call an ambulance then.
No, don't be silly. Ladies and gentlemen, we do want to say, Gorma, how good. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us here.
Oh, look, someone else has a gimbal. Look.
Oh,
Show her.
Now that's a selfie stick.
How you go? You like the gimbal, huh?
That's a selfie stick. But thank you so much, everyone. It's great to catch up with my friends. There were a few of us who met up earlier, and Hazel, of course, was at the beginning. Hazel spent the day with my group as well. Fabulous human being. So big hugs to all of you. Peace and love. So and peace on this island too, because it's been complicated the last number of years. So if I manage to wake up in the morning and go for an early walk to show you the Great Hunger Memorial, but then I'm gonna have, and I am, ladies and gentlemen, just a little surprise. I'm gonna be putting up a tour in a couple of days on the south coast of England, because I'm heading down to visit a dear old friend, and that's my main focus. Yeah, Antje, you're just asking where to follow Dave. So YouTube, Dave Kavanagh. Dave, spell your name very slowly.
Last name?
Yeah.
Kavanagh. Not with a U in it like Americans put
Slow
it.
down, slow.
Kavanagh. Someone there must be able to put it in there, because
someone-
when I do my tours, someone will put the link in there.
Yeah.
But I just uploaded a few more tours on that. I think I have like 92 videos on my YouTube channel. I'm at 666, folks. I know it's and someone's at the putting it in.
Yep. But,
Great stuff.
But yeah, so we'll cross. There you go, Antje. Yep. So,
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
Thanks, Patty. Hi.
Thank you, Patty.
So listen, everyone, I'd love to have a chit chat. Tell you what, when I have some free time, I'm going to put up just a chit chat on my computer at home where I can read the chat a bit better, and we'll go back to a community conversation. Here we are heading out. We have to leave here today because we get chased out. Because you're not allowed to guide
Wonder if this gate
in
is
here.
open, is it?
Oh, the gate? No, it isn't open. It's closed. There we are. So we're not going to be able to get out there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I really do have to run because I have a dinner with my group in a couple of minutes. And then Dave and I are, of course, going out dancing tonight, as one does. So all the very best. Now, listen, I always finish these tours because there's a very abrupt ending to these YouTube lives. So I always have to finish with something extremely important. And I'm going to tell you, if you ever wanted to actually sneak in and take the Book of Kells home with you. There's a door around the back on the left. You turn the key, you go downstairs, and then